So 4 years ago, I decided to go to China for the first time. I went after I graduated from high school because a lot of people were going on, senior trips, and I just decided to go to China to teach English because I thought it'd be fun. I really didn't know what to expect because I've never been to the rural areas of China.
So last summer I went to a mission trip to China, and before I was just a regular college student going to classes in my last year, going to my last year. And, I had my, college lifestyle of enjoying just freedom and independence.
Okay, so before I went to China this past summer, I've never traveled outside of this continent before. So I've only been to Canada, and going to China just really was pretty much a big surprise to me because I didn't know what to expect, and it was a completely different place, and my Chinese wasn't very fluent, so I was kind of scared, and I just did it anyway because I felt like I wanted to give to these kids who don't have what we have here in America.
Okay, so before going to China, I originally didn't want to go because I hated going overseas and having to stop myself from pooing, and just the conditions were really bad. But as I went there, I realized that it wasn't about me, it was about teaching the children, and I think that's what, I know that's what changed me there, because I was able to see the college students in China and their love for the students and just to teach them, and their selflessness, because just from my background, my family background, we usually go to do these things yearly, but for them it's something that they don't usually do, and so I just really saw the love that transcends cultures, that it's not only just in America, but it's also in other places. So it kind of destroyed my my ignorance of just how other cultures were.
And when we got there, it was just the hottest and most humid place I've ever been to in my entire life, and I just felt like I was in a jungle. But we took this really long bus ride to the schools, and we finally got there, and when we first stopped, I was like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be, until a couple days later when we ran out of water. We couldn't shower, you can't go to the bathroom, but if you do, you couldn't flush it, and it was just traumatizing because there were just remnants of fecal matter, and I didn't know what to do, but I guess the point of going there was to really, show our love for these kids, and to show them that there is hope in the world, that hope never fails.
And after just going and getting to China, I really felt like I got a real understanding of just their struggles, and just their standard of living is just so much lower than I really even expected. But just seeing that it's just so normal to them that I had to begin to accept just their kind of culture and just the way they lived. Through that experience, I believe that I really changed, knowing that if I brought one of the rural kids there back to where I lived at home, that they would just be completely just amazed at just how I could live so comfortably and so easily and so luxuriously, because I really just had so much compared to them, and just knowing that they would just think that I'd be living like a king. And
when I went there, I was so shocked to see that it's such a totally different lifestyle that I live now, and how fortunate I am to be in America, because I'm really no different from them, except that my parents were able to immigrate to America.
And so after, I just realized that there's good people everywhere, not just in really advanced and more modern places or educated places.
And I guess after I came back, it just made me appreciate so much of what we're provided for here: a shelter, clothes to wear, and it just showed me, it just showed me how much the kids really don't take for granted what they get there, because we gave them t-shirts and stuff, and they acted like it was the most luxurious thing they've ever gotten in the entire world. I gave this one little girl a jacket. It was about 80 degrees that day, and she still wore it because she loved it that much. And yeah, it just struck me as it tugged my heartstrings so much, but I feel like it was the best experience I've ever had in my entire life.
So coming back, I really feel like I need to be living a lot more simply and refined in terms of my spending and in terms of things I value. Yeah. Thank you.
And I just really had a different worldview, I think, after I came back and started going to college, and that was my experience in China.